G'day, Sammy. How are we? It's good.
Good deal.
Good to
be here.
Good to finally meet you properly.
Yes. Yes.
You've supplied a lot of Cench content over the years.
So I have heard.
I probably owe 30,000 of the followers to you, if not more, to be honest.
So how many followers does Cench have?
It just hit 260 today.
Wow. That's bloody impressive, man.
Yeah.
How long ago did you start?
Started it in 2013. So I'm a Swans fan that grew up in Sydney.
Yep.
We just won the premiership. Probably didn't have enough people to talk footy with because it's rugby league state. Back then it was a lot worse than it is now. It's just starting an account and probably
And what was the original purpose of the account?
just to post footy and
Just to post footy, right?
yeah, I had no plans with it or anything. Just
Okay.
see how it goes.
And so it was meant to be your voice coming through, just like the funny parts of footy or footy media, or I'm just interested in how things evolved. So how did it start?
Pretty much just anything footy, and I would just stay behind like I don't like putting myself on the page too much. Well,
Okay.
in recent times, I have a couple of times like I fought baseline in a fight, which I won. I'll claim that.
Right.
But yeah, I sort of stay behind the page.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the reason that we're doing this is that, and I only became aware of this a couple of weeks ago when the boys at Footy, the boys who I coach at Footy, mentioned it to me.
Yep.
It was something along the lines of, what are you going to do with Cench's login? And I was like, what? And then they sat down in the rooms and they showed me. And so there's a clip about me and Lloydie, Footy Classified, which I think it might have been even pre-round one. And Lloydie said he thinks they could win up to 13 games, I think he said, or 11 or 12 or whatever the number was. It was something like that.
Yep.
And me, in typically dismissive fashion of making a big statement, was like, I don't see them finishing outside bottom four. And apparently, from what I can gather, as you know, I'm not on socials, so I don't see any of the reaction. But from what I can gather, that was quite a large statement.
Yeah, I think I headlined it. Is this the worst footy statement for the year? And you got to admit, you've gotten very lucky with that.
Lucky?
Yeah, lucky.
I don't think lucky at all.
Well, how many injuries has Essendon had this year?
Heaps. But they've also got no good players. So
Wow. I still think they wouldn't have finished bottom four if they were fully healthy. Well, not say they had 3 injuries for the whole year.
I'm just trying to think who finished above them. So
Because they did start strong.
So Melbourne. So the 4 teams that finished above them were Melbourne, Port, St Kilda, and Carlton. Well, Carlton are a train wreck. St Kilda, we were always going to finish about 12th. Port, I always thought we'd finish around there. I don't think I had them in my 8 because of what was happening with Hinkley.
Yep.
And Melbourne, I think I actually had Melbourne quite high up because I thought they'd have one last crack. No, I don't think it was that. I still stand by. I don't reckon it was that big a take. Having said that, with all these predictions, luck plays a big part, right? So I always feel like you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If you get a little bit of luck, it's like, I don't know if you play golf. I play a lot of golf with my friends. And if you get a lucky shot, it's like, mate, just take it because you get burnt so many times on the golf course by good shots that like hit a tree or good shots that like hit the pin and then go out. Like, just take the good with the bad.
Yeah, you got to claim it.
But it's funny. Yeah, I thought Essendon would have a tough year. Anyway, so in lieu of me taking over the account, we agreed to sit down, have a talk, and then maybe we'll come to some sort of agreement where we have to have a certain amount of tradies posts on the Cench account.
Yeah, we can see how we go.
We'll cross promote.
No, but I'm happy to give you the login, and maybe
what would I do with it?
Maybe the AFL will let me post Match Vision if I give you the login.
Yeah. So what is the deal with that? So you're one of the best scrapers there are, and you scrape content.
Yeah.
But does the AFL, have they spoken to you? Are you technically not allowed to get?
Yeah, so I'm not allowed to post any Match Vision.
Any Match Vision, okay.
Yeah,
Is there stuff that you post that you technically shouldn't, but it's fine because
I mean, it's probably all the photos and all that. Probably
you shouldn't. It's probably all AFL licensed.
Yeah, probably shouldn't, but everyone's doing it. So
yeah, it's just funny because when I came into the media, social media was probably just taking off. Like Twitter wasn't really big until I was into my 3rd or 4th year. Instagram was mainly just for friends taking photos. It wasn't a news source of any kind. But it's probably because I wonder what the age demographic of the majority of your followers are.
It's all
probably
in
under 30.
Yeah, all under 30.
Yeah.
Probably the most popular range is 18 to 25-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they would get so much of their content via something like Cench.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was growing up, when I was, say, 18 to 24, I got all my footy stuff through mainstream. It was AFL.com, or it was listening to Jared Healy on 3AW, or it was, SEN. It was all mainstream stuff. But things have shifted pretty quickly.
You claim you're not on social media, but I think that's a bit of bullshit.
So I don't know how many times I need to say this, and I don't know what what people want me to swear on. And I sort of it's funny because I don't care enough to try to go out of my way to try to justify it. But I swear on my father's grave, I swear, my dog's here, Dave, which is the most important thing in my life. I swear on her, I don't have any form of social media. So
you don't even have a little fake account on the side where you, for a story, you need to look at Jaden Laverto's Instagram account just to see.
No, in fact.
Just to see what football team he supported when he was 10 because it's on his Instagram. I don't know.
No, nothing. In fact, do you know what? I was telling you before we started, so I've been doing US Open stuff on Nine, so I've been sort of out of the loop a little bit, but I've still been writing stuff for The Age at the same time. Today, when I was sitting at the desk, my editor, Chloe, messaged me and was like, apparently Charlie Curnow's unfollowed Carlton on Instagram. Do you mind having a look? And I'm sitting there being like, this is going to be challenging because I don't have the app. And so I was sitting next to Thanasi Kokonakis, who was doing the tennis with me. He was the special comments guy. And I asked Thanasi if he could go on his Instagram and look up Charlie Curnow and look up who he's following.
And was he still following Carlton?
No, the story's true. He's unfollowed them, which is we can talk about. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, these are the lengths that I have to go. And I miss so much stuff. And I also miss stuff that's important with my friends. Like my friends have, quite a lot of my mates have kids now.
Yeah.
And recently too. And so they post photos of, their partners with their newborns. And it's like I go through 10 days and I'll be like, oh, remember, Ben had his kid. It's like, oh, I didn't know.
So how long has it been like that, and why? How long?
No socials?
Yeah, off socials.
Oh, it
must
be nearly 2 years.
I see a lot of people still quote your old tweets.
Do they?
Yeah, from 2019.
Yeah, I think it must be. I'd have to go back. You'd have to have a look on my Twitter account to see when my last tweet was.
Yeah. Were you ever on Instagram?
Yeah. I was on Instagram for quite some time. It was always private.
Yeah.
I reckon it must be 2 years since I've had anything. But I don't have a Facebook account. I don't have Twitter. Well, sorry, I have Twitter. I haven't accessed Twitter in however many years. I deleted Instagram. I don't have LinkedIn. I don't have TikTok.
Doesn't that just make your job so much harder?
You know what? It really doesn't.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. I can't think of the last story I missed out on because I didn't have social media. What it actually does do is it makes me work the phones harder. So I rely on my sources heaps more via just old-fashioned calling them. I don't know what the younger generation of journos do, but I assume that there's a lot of scrolling that happens. And we all end up reporting the same stuff so much.
I feel like if it's breaking news, the only people that care about who actually broke it 10 seconds before the other person is the journo.
The journo. Yeah. Totally agree. Totally agree.
But yeah.
And that's why it's been so fascinating doing the pod with Mitch, because we never worked together before we started doing the pod.
Yeah.
And I look at him and, sometimes I'll see that someone's done a story before him and he might get a little bit frustrated. But I view him as so far above all of that I just say to him, mate, I can't wait to see you at 6:05 tonight on Channel 7 in front of 800,000 people telling me what's actually going on.
Yep.
Don't worry about the guys that are tweeting or Instagram posting it. Prosecute a story to me looking down the barrel. That's the regard that I hold you in.
Doesn't you not being on socials, that just benefits the Tom Morrises of the world, the Mitch Clearys, because when it comes to X, they're obviously posting it and then getting put everywhere, putting on Dan Does Footy and all the footy accounts. Yeah,
but I guess it comes back to what you value and what you mean by it helps them or gets them ahead. You got to remember, I started doing this when I was 18, so I was doing all that stuff for a long time.
Yeah,
and in the end, it kind of did my head in, and I had to make a decision about what do I want to give myself the best opportunity to be happy as a person, or am I going to live my identity purely through being a footy journo and breaking stories and be just genuinely unhappy all the time. And so I just stopped. So I'll give you an example. When I started doing Footy Classified, when I was filling in for Hutchie, I would do the show and I'd get in the car, and before I'd even gotten home, I'd checked Twitter and Instagram, and then I'd get home. This is when Nine used to put Footy Classified on at like 10 o'clock. And I'd get home to watch the show back, right? So I'm sitting there watching myself, trying to
that would be challenging.
Get feedback, yeah. And my phone would be going ballistic because I'd have all the notifications turned on if I got mentioned and mate, that was like I did that for years, and it got quite destructive. Like it got quite toxic.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't sleep, and then I'd wake up and I'd sit in bed at 7 and I'd do the exact same thing for 45 minutes. So I finished my day terribly, and I'm starting the next day even worse. And in the end, like you harm yourself or punish yourself to such a degree. It's like, well, you're the only one that can change it, mate. And so I made a change. And so now when I get home from Classified, I usually watch like an episode of Billions, or I'm rewatching a quarter of Training Day, or I'll go home and read a crime novel, or sometimes I'll just lie on the couch in absolute silence. And my phone is on the mantelpiece. It's always on loud in case there's an emergency and someone needs me.
Yeah.
People can call me, but it's been quite cathartic for me because I've just released all this energy.
I can't imagine your screen time's very high then.
It's like 5 hours or something.
Yeah. I think I'm well and truly double that.
Yeah, it's actually awesome. To the point where I don't actually know what I do on my phone.
Yeah, if you're not on socials then, yeah. Are you ready to come back on socials then? Because how are you going to be a Cench admin if you're not on?
Yeah, this is the interesting point. I could get one of the boys to follow me around for the day and maybe do it. I did actually think about that. I was like, oh my God, if I actually end up doing this admin thing, it means I have to download Instagram again. And I don't really want to do that because I feel like I'm going to be bombarded with all this stuff.
Yeah. I just want to address something as well. So
yes,
if you remember Monday or Tuesday, I quoted you and put that on Instagram.
Yeah.
It came back to you by the time you've done the podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
So I listened back to that.
Did I say it?
Yeah, you said it.
So what was the context?
You said that it's more likely than unlikely that he will stay next season for his third year, but he's not re-signing.
I see. Yeah, that's probably what I said.
So originally I thought, oh shit, I've got this wrong. But
Yeah.
then you went on to say he's...
So my point would have been I think he'll probably stay at West Coast next year, but there's no way he'll actually recommit, which is what he had. So I got it wrong.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so like I was 30 minutes late to that news. So from my perspective, I sort of had to find an angle that, which I actually felt bad about posting.
I did see, because a few of my mates sent me screenshots being like, sorry in advance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like if you miss it by 30 minutes, there's really no point posting Harley Reid's re-signed.
Yeah.
From my perspective, but yeah.
I mean, it's all of that stuff's really interesting from a journo's perspective because it's kind of like the old school rule of, no one ever remembers when you're right, but geez, I'll burn you when you're wrong. And that kind of comes with the territory. And the whole Harley Reid, they're not going to pick him, Mitch thing. It's funny because it happened right here.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that it would take off the way in which it did. And then when the draft is on, I'm not on social media, so I don't know. But then suddenly my phone with all my mates started being like, mate, are you okay? Like,
yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
I would have been a part of that pile.
Yeah. But so I think in one part, you just got to own it. Like, I don't regret stuff like that because you learn from everything.
Yeah.
But if I could go back, I would have made it much more clear about like it was me trying to give an opinion of, given where the list is at, given everything that's happening, given that they've been told in the interviews that he doesn't really want to go outside of Victoria. Surely there's no way in the world in which West Coast would risk taking this guy at pick 1. But me being a little bit jocular and getting a little bit ahead of myself at some points, and also the relaxed nature of doing a podcast, that turned into, well, they're not going to pick him. And it just completely blew up.
Yeah.
And I just completely got it wrong. And I was always a journo that prided myself on letting 90% of the stories go and just nail the 10% that you know are right. And that's the only thing that frustrates me is that I wish I had dressed it up more as opinion instead of stating that they're not going to pick him and it looking like I was addressing a story. But in the end, I just got it wrong.
Yeah.
And it feels like every time Harley Reid gets brought up now that I do. And that's okay. Like You just have to own it.
You've actually probably contributed to him staying. Like,
well, maybe. And I've had the pleasure of running into him a few times.
Yeah.
And he's such a lovely guy. But I really do stand by that. I think West Coast will ultimately have ended up making the wrong decision because they're going to get worse next year.
So he won't stay beyond.
No, I'm not getting caught in this. There's no more Harley Reid predictions. I got too many of them wrong.
So will you be like not as strong on opinions going forward?
No. I'll still be exactly the same.
Yeah.
I'll still call it as I say it. But who I am away from this sort of stuff is very different to who I am with it. But I've always seen, because I've worked in different parts of journalism and done a bit of crime and a bit of investigation and that sort of stuff. With footy, I've always kind of gotten back to the whole thing of, in the end, the only people that you answer to is your audience. Once you start worrying about your average, or you start worrying about what people are going to think about you, or you start holding back opinions because you don't want to be clickbaited, you're not doing the people that are listening to you any justice. So I'll always call it like I said. Like, I know it sounds like I've copped a bit of flack for how hard I've gone on this Rankin situation, but it's just how I feel. And it's, I speak to a lot of people in footy. It's part of my job. It's a ruthless industry.
Would you be as strong on opinions if you were still on social media?
That's an interesting question. I don't know. I think I'd probably offer less of them on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the first year in about 10 years that I haven't done daily radio. And so that used to serve a great purpose for me being able to give opinions and vent opinions, and then also engage with talkback callers. So it's a great way for me to engage in debate.
Yep.
This year I've been back writing full time, which has made me more reflective and probably more pensive. And I've held back a lot more. But I do miss the interactions. Would I do it if I was on social media? It's a good question. I don't really know the answer. Let's hope we never find out.
Like if I was in your position, if I wasn't prepared to tweet something, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't say it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
Because anything you say on Tradies or whatever.
It gets tweeted anyway.
Yeah, it's going to get out there anyway.
Well, that's probably a good reason, again, that I'm not on it, because if I say it here, it's going to get out there anyway.
Like, so, it's almost my favorite part of the week, Tuesday, whenever the podcast comes out. I think it's a Tuesday.
Yep.
Just going through and seeing what you usually say. Mitch sometimes gives us a lot of content,
of my opinions, what percentage would you agree with? I'm guessing it's low.
Isaac Heaney's not an A grader.
I'm happy to debate it with you.
All Australian last night.
Yeah, he may be an A grader on the whiteboard at the start of next year.
Let's admit, like, your A graders list, a lot's going to change. A lot should change. A lot should have changed at the start of the season when you did it. About 5 minutes after you put the list together.
Which ones? Well, I'm happy to go through them with you. Which ones do you do?
From top of my head, Taylor Walker.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to have this debate? Like, the guy is literally the best kick on both feet in the competition. Did he kick 50 goals?
He definitely wasn't A grader back in the day, but back a few years ago, but not anymore. Yeah, but I get what you do it off. You do it off.
Yeah. Remember, it's my system.
Yeah.
So it's not like I haven't gone off champion data system, or I haven't gone off Brownlow vote system. It's once you gain the status, you have to fall off the cliff to lose it. Yep. And so someone like Walker, and he only kicked 50 goals 2 years ago, whatever it was. 76. Yeah, he kicked 76 goals. Thank you, Link. Link's backing me up. You don't get to be an A grader and then kick 76 goals when you're at that age and then lose it. He's still massive in big games. He plays one of the hardest positions on the ground. There's not one that I don't. I think, was there one that I regretted? Was it maybe Sam Taylor that I said he probably snuck in too early?
One of the Geelong mids?
Oh, no. Holmes or Smith, please.
Wait, you didn't have either of them in?
No.
What about pre-season next year? Is one of them in?
Well, Smith just got named All-Australian and Coaches Association Player of the Year, but he didn't play last year. So he's got to do it for 2 years straight. So
yeah, I don't know about this system.
Well, that's why it's my system.
I think back when I posted it, I left out that this was I didn't explain your system in the post.
Kane did that as well.
Yeah.
Kane did it on SEN and just decided to redo the system based on his system, which is irrelevant.
The ones other pages posting A graders, but then adding like another 20 players to the list.
Right.
I thought that was pretty unfair. Like obviously, like I think you had 31.
Yeah, it was 31.
Yeah. So when I think I created my own A graders, but I never posted it. So I stuck to the 31.
But this is the cool thing about it, right? Is it creates debate.
Yeah.
That's I specifically like over a few weeks created a system where I was like, okay, what does it mean to be a real A grader? Well, you have to put in a body of work. It can't just be you play one good year and you're all Australian halfback flanker and suddenly you're an A grader.
Yeah.
Can't just do that. Because then what happens next year if you haven't kicked it up until round 10? So, okay, do it for 2 years. Yep. And then once you get it, you can't just suddenly lose it. So you get a little bit of grace time. It's not a perfect system. No system's perfect. Like Bailey Smith not being on the A graders whiteboard at the start of next season is going to look tough.
So you will be doing the
Well, he hasn't done it for 2 years.
Will you be doing the A graders list pre-season next year?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Will Max Holmes be on it? I might just leave him off it to annoy Mitch. I don't know.
Isaac Heaney will be.
I think he'll be hard to leave off it now.
Yeah.
Because he's all Australian.
I think didn't have Matt Rowell on it. Does he?
How did Rao go last year? I'm trying to remember.
I think he was pretty good.
I think he was pretty good too. He'd be close.
Mm.
I mean, he's a top 10 player in the competition right now.
Yeah.
Anderson's the one I'm most proud of.
Yeah.
Because everyone laughed at me about Noah Anderson. He's arguably the best player in the comp.
I actually agreed with you, Noah Anderson.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, I think Kane didn't.
What do you think about the All-Australian team?
Do you want me to be honest?
Yep.
I thought putting Nick Dacos on the bench was potentially the stupidest thing I've ever seen
Yeah.
in 15 years.
It's going to look really stupid when he wins the Brownlow.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he's literally the best player in the competition, right? Second is distance. And I mean that respectfully, as in second is a debate.
Yeah.
You could probably come up with 6 or 7 players who are the second best player in the comp right now. It's not as though he didn't have a good year. I went through his stats again last night when I was sitting at the table because I was there at the table with people I work with and friends, and I was like, am I missing something here? Why is he on the bench? And I went up to a selector actually, and I was like, you guys there must be some sort of late April Fool's joke here. Why is Dacos on the bench? And he's like, who are you going to take out? And I was like, well, that's easy. Either Dawson or Richards.
Yep.
Like, don't get me wrong. Both have had great years. But, like, Dawson's on a great kick. People think he's a great kick, but he's actually not. And Richards has had a great year, but he plays second fiddle to Bont most of the time.
Yeah.
Be a lot easier to get in and kick when Bont's getting all the attention. Dacos carries that midfield as a 21-year-old. He's had 2 years where he could have easily won the Brownlow. And then I understand the All-Australians about that specific year, but he had a great year. How can he be on the bench? While I'm running hot, the bench was 4 midfielders. So when they play their imaginary game against an imaginary team, when are the keys getting
So who gets taken out of who you're trying to put in and who goes out?
Well, did Cozzy Pickett have that good a year? I went through it today again.
Yeah.
I was like, it was pretty good.
I feel like he had like 5 elite games where he just tore it apart.
But the last 4 games, he only kicked 3 goals.
Yeah.
So, like, does he come out and you move one of the mids forward and you put Dacos on the
But then that's
ball?
where it just gets hate. People don't want midfielders in the forward line.
Yeah, I was glad that, like, Baz and McCluggage got the wing roles. I thought that was fair.
It was funny.
Taylor missed a lot of
the one year McCluggage didn't play wing.
He was on the wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's quite funny. Having said all of this, like, picking an All-Australian team would be really tough.
Yeah.
And they get literally the biggest names in the game to do it. So far be it for me to completely dismiss the opinions of Eddie Betts and Nathan Buckley and these greats.
Kane Corns,
who's a very good player for a long time. But I just couldn't fathom that a group of intelligent people literally got to the end of the year and they're like, oh yeah, we'll put Dacos on the bench.
I thought Josh Worrell was stiff and also Isaac Rankin.
I didn't think Worrell would make it. I was okay with that. I was okay with Sherry not making it.
He should have been in the squad.
He probably should have been in the squad, but I thought Grundy had a better year.
Yeah.
And then Rankin was probably stiff.
One of 3 players that finished in the 20-1 club. Definitely should have been in the team.
And they're a very different team without him, which I think we're going to find in September.
See, I probably would have taken Battle out and Zach Bailey.
Yeah, I didn't mind Battle. I thought he had an underrated year and he can use him I really like his versatility. He can play tall and small.
Yep.
So I think he maybe gets a few extra credits for that. Who's the other one you said? Oh, Bailey.
Yep.
He had a pretty good year though.
Yeah. Strong last month of the season.
Yeah.
Playing a bit more midfield, but
He also, I think I said this with Mitch on the pod a couple of weeks ago, he benefits from the fact that he plays in a really good team. Like if he was playing at Carlton, he'd struggle, right?
Yep.
That's not a go at his ability. It's just that the position that he plays relies on a good system and good personnel giving it to you.
yeah.
If he was playing at North or at Carlton or Melbourne, I think he'd really struggle. But again, it's a hard task doing the All-Australian.
Yeah, impossible task,
Yep. essentially.
Never going to please everyone, so
No.
yeah.
So with the Instagram login, so I'm just helping a mate out moving some magnets around for an Old Zavs threes team. We've got our grand final on Sunday. So maybe that's the way to utilise the Cenchfooty page.
So you purely just want to post Old Zavs thirds Division 2 beds against...
Mainly to annoy you. You do all the socials to the VAFA, right?
Yeah. So I started at the VAFA this year, started the season. And
Okay.
Yeah.
So how much of your time does that take up?
Well, it's a full-time job, so
Okay.
often 9 to 5, and then when I get home is when I do majority of the Cench work. That's why I'm probably averaging 11 hours of screen time at least during the footy season. So
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
I've really enjoyed getting back into some coaching. I did quite a bit of it for schoolboy footy when I was in my mid-20s, and that was really rewarding. But coaching boys who are adults, there's a whole other cool thing.
Yeah.
Because you can sort of sit around at the end of a game and actually be mates with them and not have to just think of them as a coach. So that's actually been really rewarding. I've loved getting back into amateur footy.
Are you going to win? It's against Old Kerry, yeah?
No, we're against Old Trinity.
Old
Our
Trinity.
team's against Old Trinity at Elsonwick Park.
Yeah.
It was our qualifying final was really close. We only won by, I think, 13 or 14 points.
Yep.
And then they lost. They obviously had to play again because they finished top 2, and they beat St Kevin's by like 3 points. Beat Scobs at Elsonwick Park. So that was a pretty grueling game. So we'd go in favourites, I would suggest, but it'll be pretty tight. But literally every single Tuesday and Thursday training, all the boys the last month have just wanted to talk about Cench. So you've had some good cut through.
I think I'm going to have to get down to your bench and just have a camera on you the whole game.
Yeah, that might be it, but that doesn't count as me me getting the login. I want to do something with the login that's going to annoy you, and that the Cench fans are going to like. Maybe what we do is we ask the Cench fans what they want to see, or what's the one thing they want me to do with a login. If they want like one video or one post, what would it be? Maybe we give we're like Bane in Batman. We give the power to the people. We give the keys
Especially
to
with the
people.
trade period coming up.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
Game the life.
Yeah. Just give us, yeah. You're obviously not on social, so like no one's saying what you're actually doing.
What do people want to see though? They want to see me at home making phone calls. It'd be pretty boring.
I don't know. Maybe break a couple of stories on Cench.
Wow.
I don't know if you're contractually allowed to do that.
Footy Classified would be pretty pissed.
Tradies would be pretty pissed too, I reckon.
Good point.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest issue in the trade period for you and your followers? Like, what's the biggest move or the biggest question mark, do you reckon?
As player-wise? Or?
Yeah, or just in general. Like, I'm always interested getting a sense from people as to what they think the biggest issue would be going into something.
From memory from last year, the trade period goes for too long. It's two weeks. It goes for way too long, and there's too much bullshit stories reported over like from now until.
Yep.
I think people get a bit sick and tired by the time it actually gets to the trade period.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
We find ourselves talking about trades from April all the way through, and
because what happens is you've got that weird week off. So grand final finishes Saturday night, and then everyone wakes up on Monday. And it's like, oh, what are we doing? But there's no trade period until the following Monday.
Yeah.
But I think trade radio starts. So by the time we get to that Friday, it's been like 5 full days of people just guessing.
Yeah.
Or just predicting, or I want this bloke or this, and it just gets, and then we get to Monday. And then the worst thing is the week that it actually starts, nothing happens. If you remember, last year in particular.
Oh, I'm sitting by my phone and
literally nothing happened.
Nothing happens, yeah.
And then we've got the last 3 days. So it ends up going for 2.5 weeks. So it's at 17 days total, basically. and nothing happens until the last day and a half. So what they should just do is they should just make it the Monday to the Friday after the grand final. Make it 5 days straight away. The AFL don't want that because they want to
talking about footy for as long as
yeah. Which you can understand. Like if you're running a $1 billion industry, you don't want to give other sports like cricket or A-League or tennis or whatever it is, you don't want to give them a leg up. So I sort of get it.
Yeah.
But selfishly, from a pure content perspective, it's just taking the piss. We really just need to make it the 5 days after, and then we can all talk about the trades following.
Yeah. From my perspective, there's literally no surprises once it gets to the trade period. It's like everything's so obvious what's going to happen. TDK is going to Carlton.
Yeah.
Oscar Allen's going to Brisbane. Like by the time we get there, there's nothing that we haven't heard about that happens, which I get is all the journos' jobs to tell.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
Yeah, okay. So I'm 9 years older than you. Wow. Shit, I feel old. So this is the interesting thing, right? When I was 25, so it's at 2016, when I was 25, big stories would actually break during the trade period that no one saw coming.
Yeah.
Because the proliferation of social media and basically everyone being their own journo didn't exist. So I specifically remember, I don't know, Link, if it was 2016 or 17, it might have been later than that. It would have been maybe 18. You have to help me. When did Lachie Neale leave Freo?
First year in Brizzy was 19.
19, so 18.
Yeah.
So at the end of the 18, so I remember, right, in fact, so was that 2018 and we're now 2025. So almost 7 years ago to the day it would be, I was at the All-Australian Awards night and I was a journo at SEN. We were recording in Richmond, so I'm literally 50 metres away from where the studio used to be. And I worked on this story that Lachie Neale was going to Brisbane, right, for about a week. And I specifically went to the All-Australian Awards to corner someone from Brisbane at the end of the night to basically be like, look, I'm reporting this tomorrow. Do you want to comment on it? Now, at the time, Lachie Neale's name, apart from the fact that he was a dual best and fairest with Freo, had never been mentioned. He was contracted. He was from rural South Australia. So if he was ever going to go anywhere, it was thought that he'd go to
Brisbane,
Adelaide or Port, right?
Yeah.
And I just remember having this story, and I worked on it for so long. And my producer at the radio at the time was a guy called Ed Bowman, who basically runs AFL.com now. He'll remember the story. We'd worked on it together, and I'd rung Jared Waitley, who had just made his debut on SEN, I think early that year. And I said, I'm coming in at 9 o'clock, and I can't tell you what it is, but I've got a huge story. And he was like, great. And I specifically remember walking in going, fuck, I can't believe I'm about to say that Lachie Neale's going to go to Brisbane. Because no one had talked about him.
Yeah.
And I did it, and it just it absolutely exploded like you'd never seen anything. Then Freo came out, Ross Lyon and Steve Rossich, who was the CEO, came out and were like, the story's complete bullshit. It's never going to happen. We're never going to let him go. And Brisbane is sort of sitting there being like, well, we've been talking to him for 3 months. His partner, Jules, who had a hair salon in Perth at the time, she's going to set up, she sold it. She's going to set up like it was on. Do you know what I mean? It was done.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I'm telling you that story is that my ears pricked up to your point that we all know what's going to happen now. Like, is there really ever going to be now another player that just blindsides us in the middle of trade period?
It was a bit refreshing to say Naz. No one knew about Naz.
That's true.
The only thing with that, I wish the club actually got the opportunity to announce that since it got so late into the piece.
Yeah, but Cal Toomey got the story. So
yeah, fair.
That's his job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I love talking about trade, hence the podcast. But the only disappointing thing is it's really hard to get like a rolled gold raw dog exclusive with trade now.
Yeah.
Because we're all talking about it all the time. I mean, I literally host a podcast that starts talking about trade at round one. Like that's the only negative I reckon with the proliferation of media is that information is so easily accessible now. It's almost impossible to keep anything a secret.
Yeah. So you obviously broke the TDK news during the week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So how do you, since you're not on socials, how do you know that hasn't already gone out 10 minutes earlier?
Yeah, that's a good question. At the time, I was upstairs at Footy Classified. We'd just done our production meeting.
Yeah.
And Anthony does our socials there, so he sits in on all our meetings. And so I can ask him. And then Claire, who's the main producer at The Age and Channel 9 are in the same building because it's all owned by the same company. So I walked upstairs and just checked with Claire, have you heard anything? Or is like, because sometimes you might go to the Age and you might say, I'm going to write this. And Chloe, the editor, will be like, oh, Jake Niall's already writing this.
Yep.
Or Mick Gleeson or Pete Ryan, they've actually already heard this. Or Mark McGowan, he's going to write this. So I always like checking, hey, I'm thinking about writing this. Have you heard that anywhere? Or have you? Because sometimes I'll miss something. It's like, mate, it's been on Instagram for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. Sorry. Thought I had an exclusive. But yeah, this one was like, no, that's not out there. I was like, cool. And I said, I really want to break it live on TV. And then we came to the decision, because I think I had this story at like 7 or something. And we're not on till 8:44, I think it was that night.
Yeah.
It's like, are we all really going to sit here with an hour and 44 minutes and just like hope that no one else breaks it? And I think I ended up putting it online on the Age at like 8 o'clock or something.
Was there ever a chance anyone else could break it?
Well, you don't know. Because
Yeah.
like, I don't know what Mitch is doing over at 7 or...
Tom's on that night, isn't he?
No, Tom's Tuesdays.
Okay.
Yeah, he does Tuesdays with Eddie.
Yeah.
But again, like, Tom's a prolific newsbreaker. He might be sitting at home on his couch, just like he's got a huge social media following, so he might break it there.
Yeah.
So you just don't know. But again, coming back to something we spoke about a lot earlier, I've kind of made peace with the fact that there's going to be a lot of stuff I don't break, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So as long as I can live with that, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But there was a period of my life where like phones would go across the room if I missed out on a story.
Well, you've got the reputation now, so you probably don't need to be constantly.
Well, maybe. And like I get to work with Damo Barrett every week.
When's the last time he broke a story? They always joke about it on Triple M.
Well, so like that's interesting because when I was a kid growing up and Thursday night footy show, you were probably slightly too young. Thursday night footy show was just basically like you had to watch it. And me as someone who loved footy but also loved news with an old man as a journo, the footy show was always on 9:40, and if Damo had something before 9:45, it was fucking big. And you had to be there to watch it because he'd break exclusive after exclusive after exclusive. And then this is back in the day where the newspapers would have a late edition. So like right now, if I wanted to break a story, let's say tonight for the Age, I have to get it in before 7 o'clock because that's when they print.
You can always just text me and
I'll text you.
Yeah.
But back in those days, you could get something in by 10:45 p.m. and they'd run a second edition. And so the newspapers used to watch Damo on the footy show in case they had to follow a story and try to get something printed in the next 45 minutes to get it in the paper. That's how competitive it was.
Yeah.
So on Damo, I think Damo's got to a point where he broke so many stories and so many big stories. I mean, he broke the Essendon Asada scandal. He just doesn't. I just don't think he cares anymore. He's happy in his own skin being there as the guy who analyses, the guy who gives the latest information. Damo's got the best sources. Every time we have a big story, you just know that he can talk to it with the most weight and gravity. So yeah, it is a little bit about getting to a point in your career where what you value. Yeah, am I going to be doing this for the rest of my life? I don't know. I ask myself that question most days when I wake up, to be honest. What's next?
We need the Tradies podcast. So.
Oh, no, I don't think Tradies Podcast will go anywhere. I'm just, am I going to be doing what I'm doing in footy media?
What else would you do if you...
Well, it's a good question. I've had lots of fantasies, lots of dreams.
Full-time assistant coach at Zavs?
Probably doesn't pay the wages.
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't know if you win premierships. Possibly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I get to coach with Paul Connors, who's obviously manager of most of the superstars. So it's always funny because Paul will be very closed off around me with all that sort of stuff because he has to be, and that's fair.
Because his son's in the team, isn't he?
He's in one of the teams.
Yeah.
Yep, Archie. Yep.
Because there's 3 Zavs teams.
There's 3 Zavs, 3 teams.
All at Elsternwick Park on Saturday.
Yeah, plus the Crocs.
Yeah.
It's actually wild to think about. And now with women's footy, there are so many girls playing footy.
Yeah.
It's expanded amateur footy clubs beyond recognition, which is so great when you think about it. Like my sister, who's a bit older than me, she didn't have the opportunity to play footy, even if she wanted to. But now girls of all ages, just like the guys that I coach, can play a little bit of footy on the side because there's opportunity for it. Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I get to walk Diva around Toorak Park most mornings because I live around there. And most Saturday mornings, it's junior preen girls. And there's people everywhere.
Do you have anything to do with the Premier Men's team or?
No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah.
No. Apart from help out when they need
Yeah.
a shitty MC to do a lunch. Apart from
Yeah, I did see you did one with Andrew Dillon.
Yes, at the start of the year.
Yeah. So and you did a couple with him, I think. So how do you go from emceeing an event with him to the other night asking him all these hard hitting questions?
Yeah,
that must be a bit difficult.
It's, you know what? It's something that used to really stress me out.
Yeah.
And it's now something that I just see purely as a job.
Yeah.
You just get there and you just know that you have to do it, and he knows that you have to do it. And if there's a couple of prickly questions, that's kind of the way it goes.
Yeah.
It's definitely not, it's not always comfortable though. Like that's probably the thing that I struggle with the most is reporting on people that I know.
Yeah.
And that goes for clubs as well. That's not easy. And particularly because you don't want to come across as pious, you know, there's always a risk when you're reporting on people that you come across as, oh, I'm better, or I would have done better, and that's probably, you know, maybe I did come across like that when I was younger and more brash, but you get a bit older and you get a bit softer, and I find my empathy levels have increased so much. I just don't have any empathy for the clubs.
Yeah.
The clubs are organisations, they're $1 million businesses. They should be better than what they are a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And so when we have stuff like the Rankin situation, it just gets my tail up a bit, because it's like you guys literally have media departments to handle this stuff. You have chief executives that have run major businesses. You've got football departments that you pay millions of dollars to. Like, what are you doing? Come on, let's be better.
Yeah.
But yet, as soon as one 21-year-old kid makes the wrong decision on a Saturday night, we all want to torch him for it. It's like, yeah, but you guys remember what you were like when you were 21? You know, like we all make mistakes. It's okay. He's a kid. Like, he's a kid getting paid $500,000 a year, just wanting to have a good time. Like, I don't know. That's probably the thing that I'm most grateful for. There's a lot of things that have been hard about this career. That the thing that I'm most grateful for is perspective. In the end, it's footy, right? Like you run a social media account that's got more than 250,000 followers. How cool is that? And it's all because of a game, which we all love.
Yeah. I'll sort of tend to not post anything negative on players. Only journalists, nah.
Only journos, clearly.
Nah, just don't feel comfortable doing it, to be honest. Like, we'll just leave it if it's a negative story or,
And that's why I think it comes with the territory of being a journo. You got to be willing to bear the brunt of people hating you. This is like, no one likes journos. No one likes them.
Yeah, I don't think I could do your job. So,
well, none of us know what we could do until we do it.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I've definitely grown. I've definitely changed a lot as a person since I've been doing a lot of this stuff. That's for sure. I used to be 1,000,000 miles an hour and get upset about everything. And then one day I decided, you know what, I've got to put my energy into better things here.
Yeah. I think I need to look back at some of my 2016, 2017 posts to see what I did with some of your tweets. Or,
please, I'd like to see
we can put them all together.
In fact, maybe that's what we should do when I get the login. What you said Cench been going since 2013?
Yeah.
Can we go? You can help me. Let's go all the way back and let's see.
Can just go through your Twitter and find all your tweets, whether stupid or not. Go through them all, and then go through on Instagram and find the date
and marry them up.
Yeah, it'd be pretty easy to do actually.
Yeah, I would have tweeted a lot of dumb shit.
There's definitely been a few this year and last year that
But I didn't tweet anything this year and last year.
No, in terms of like
things I've said.
Yeah, things you've said. Which in the future is going to be hard to post anything now that I know you.
It's hard now, isn't it? Yeah. Because you're going to have a human. There's going to be a human element of you.
Yeah.
This is the hard thing about media. Once you meet someone, it becomes a lot harder to then criticize them, knowing the human element of them.
Yeah.
But mate, like this is the thing. As long as it's footy, I don't care. Like you saying this might be the worst take of the year. That's funny. That's just good banter. Like that's what we're there for. That's what the media's there for. I'm very protective of, as long as it's not personal or it's not about someone's family or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think that's where it crosses the line.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I got rid of social media is that A, I couldn't handle a lot of the abuse, but B, I was trying to be really protective of the people close to me because, you know, like I've got a sister and a mum and, you know, really close friends that would read it and take it really personally.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, why are these people saying this stuff about you?
It's more of an effect on them than
what
it is
what
you.
did you
kind
do?
Of.
I was like, no, Mum, it's just like it's just kids on Instagram. Like they're just protecting their team. You know, it's not personal. So I think that's for me. That's what it is. If the whole Harley Reid stuff, I think very fun because I got something really wrong.
Well, I think it's been really good for you in the end. Like all the Harley Reid photos.
Why? Oh, because it personalised me a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been 5 or 6 photos, I think, over the last 2 years. You and him at the races, you and him at
Events.
Yeah, players function last year.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny.
It just creates content. Like, yeah.
Good. I'm just providing for the people.
There's always a few negative comments, but what do you do?
Can't please everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this has been fun. I look forward to the Cench login.
Yes. We'll see how we go with that.
We'll do a day in the life of me during trade period, maybe. Thanks, Dill. It's been fun.
Pleasure. Thank you, Sam.